Before I came to this job, I worked a bunch of different jobs. I worked in casinos and I worked for a record company, and it was always me versus the boss. So I'd go into the boss's office, and he would look at me and kind of make me squirm in my seat and ask me how much a raise I deserved. And I would tell him, and he would laugh and send me out the door. That was it.
My first job that I had in a call center was not union. So the fact that I was there 3 years and only got 72 cents raise, and then I come to this job where I've only been there 3.5 years, but they've provided me a great pay rate, and there's no favoritism, and that means a lot to me.
When I worked at a restaurant, my boss, he asked me and another guy to come in early to lay bark in front of the restaurant because we were having a couple news crews there that day. So we worked about 4 or 5 hours. I drove my truck. We did our labor, then we came back at night to work. Well, later on that night, he pulls me aside and says, just going to let you know, I'm not paying you overtime for what you did today. And the reason for it is I don't think it's fair that not everyone had that opportunity to work it. I'm still going to pay you for straight pay, but it's not going to be considered overtime. My mindset now, as a shop steward, a union job, I mean, right, I would be filing grievances. That just wouldn't stand.
Without more people standing with you, your voice doesn't really hold any weight. Your manager, your employer can nod and agree with everything that you have to say and turn around and still do whatever they want to do, unless you have a contract.
When we had our campaign at the Synoptics manufacturing plant, as far as raises, they hadn't had a raise for like 6 years. Benefits were non-existent. But to me, it was giving them a voice at work, a way to speak up. Before we helped them, they had a supervisor that would throw chairs at them and cuss them out and treat them as if they weren't even human.
Well, the union protects employees, and it keeps, I believe the union also keeps employers, in line. It keeps them from discriminating, from having favorites, and just downright being nasty, with zero repercussions. See, when we have the union, a lot of things change. You start to matter, and what you want starts to matter.
I was working at a call center job, non-union, for the banking industry, and you had no say, no respect, nothing, no input, right? You were just doing what was told. So having a union is having a voice and having security and being together, having solidarity and someone having your back.
Can't you just Facebook message them with a little
W1245, it's working people standing together to create a better living for their members, and it's been directly reflected in my life in the fact that I, as a gardener, have been able to send my daughter to a 4-year college and pay for it all out of pocket. I've been able to purchase a home.
I have a child with a form of muscular dystrophy who last year spent 7 weeks at Children's Hospital. The stay last year cost us $450,000 if we had paid it out of pocket. Due to the fact that we have great medical benefits because of a union, we were able to pay $1,500 versus the alternative.
Unity, brotherhood, commitment, security. I mean, it's just not one thing, it means a lot of things. Knowing that if you need resources, that's what the 1245 is going to give you.
A team. I think it's a good team because we all work towards the same goal. That's to improve working conditions, better wages, our benefits.
Some job security, workers' rights. We work hard out there in the field every day. Struggling for our families and, it's our lifestyle. And sometimes there's some management that takes advantage of their powers. And when that happens, we could I always fall back on the union, call the shop steward, hey, this is what's happening, it's unfair, and then we'll get down to the bottom of it.
It's like an advocate, it's a support system. It makes a difference for safety, your pension, as far as your pay. From the moment you go to the gate, the moment you put on your uniform, it's making a difference. So much behind the scenes that most people don't recognize.
Solidarity, unity, strength. For me, it's live better, work union. I mean, it's the easiest way for me to say it. I don't just have friends, I have family now. Somebody I could rely on if I really, really needed them. I know I could call somebody here if I needed help with anything.
In the beginning, when I first started, I never went to a unit meeting. I didn't feel it was needed. I had my job, I had my salary. But once I started going to them, and it was just by fluke that I did, then all sorts of opportunities opened up.
You can be the secretary, you can be the chairperson, you can be the vice chairperson, you can be on a safety committee, the bargaining committee. There's quite a few opportunities, and there's something always going on.
Since barbecues, picnics, softball games, get involved there. But to me, what I like about my union is they give me the opportunity to get involved with organizing workers, organizing political campaigns. That's important because that affects you in the long run.
Somebody fought for me to have what I have now, my health benefits and my pay. I feel like it's my time to fight for other workers. What changed my whole life is when I worked on Measure G, and that was fighting for the garbage workers' jobs. We saved over 100 workers' jobs, and we changed lives.
No, I stand my ground, won't be turned around, and I keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground.
Sometimes people are afraid to speak up, and I know I was one of them. And before I got involved, I would shy away from the conversation. Now I want people to ask me questions, and they do, and I've had really good conversations. I hope that through one-on-one conversations, through these relationships, that we can make a change. That people understand that unions aren't bad. We're your neighbors, we're in your community, we're doing the community service, we care.
I care because we have to have a strong middle class for this country to survive. We all should be able to live the American dream. And we're not asking for much, but we're just asking to live comfortably and, be able to provide for our families. And that's what, unions are there for, to make sure that we get our fair share.
The union works for you. And you'll see, you will see, if you've come from a non-union background, it won't be long before you realize how terrific it is to be where you are right now. With the support of the union, it's going to be amazing.
Be involved. Just be active and get a sense of what we are and who we are. And you won't know unless you come out and participate. So come out and join us.